So what do I think about Legends? What do I think? What do I think? What do I think? Well, what is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, and welcome back to the channel. I figured today would be, with the newest update that came out, I figured today would probably be a good time to kind of put up my thoughts on the past year and a half of Dragon Ball Legends, and just kind of give you guys my thoughts and opinions on my experiences with the game, and as well as kind of go over a little bit of the new update too, to kind of compare what it was back then to what it is now. If you guys notice above me, I am doing this on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/corrosivebullet. When we start doing more videos like this in the future, we're going to do them on our Twitch channel, and you guys are more than welcome to come ahead over to the channel, and whatever it is that we're discussing for the day, you guys are more than welcome to share your thoughts and opinions and concerns in the Twitch chat, and make your voices heard. So I figured that'd be a nice little way for the community to kind of stay in touch together, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's kind of jump into it. So Dragon Ball Legends, as of today, is 1.5 years old. It's just starting to get into its toddler years. I've been a fan of the game and a player of the game since day one, and I love this game. Through all the hurdles and stuff that the game kind of like puts the players through, and all the grinding and stuff, like it's all worth it for me. I love this game. In terms of a mobile game, like I don't think a mobile game could ever really be better than this, personally, if you ask me, especially one based off an anime like Dragon Ball. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, so I've been a player since the first game, and if you guys remember, the game was kind of bare bones. The game was kind of bare bones when the game first came out. There was very little story content. It wasn't as abundant with events as it used to be, or as it is now. And like, if you look at it now, like we are 1.5 years into it. We have 5 full stories. 5 full stories of story content. I believe part 4 that just came out now has a hard mode. So they've been rolling out hard modes, hard difficulties, and whatnot. And compared to when the game first came out, this game is more accessible to new players now than it has ever been. I'm not saying that necessarily from a gameplay perspective. I'm not necessarily saying that from quality of life perspective, but like in terms of just like for free to play players, this is a very accessible game. Just in story alone, I believe you can get close to, if not more than 20,000 free Chrono Crystals to do on summons. And I remember back in the day, it was almost impossible to like get like 1,000 at a time per like update. Like it was pretty hard back in the day to get free stuff, to get free summons. But the game has evolved so much since then, and as the game kind of rolled on through, the game's just been kind of getting better and better, in my opinion. I think the very first update that came out, the first big update with the big units, I think was Black Friday of last year, when they released, the original Goku Black. They released, who was it? Kaioken Goku, I think it was. I think it was Kaioken Goku was a big hype unit. Yeah, there was a lot of, that was right around the time that the game, where the game really like started stepping up, and it only just started getting more and more intense as it kind of went on. Around this time last year, if not maybe a couple weeks from now, we got our first big units. That was when Dragon Ball Super Broly came out into theaters, and they released Gogeta and Broly from the Broly movie, and those were game-breaking units when they came out. Like they were very, very game-breaking. And whatnot. And then we had like the big New Year's banner, right around there was where I kind of like got burnt out on the game, and I think I took about a 2-month break from the game before actually coming back. That was actually admittedly right around the time that Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, so I was actually like really like into Kingdom Hearts 3, and I didn't really like put much time for anything else. But I came back and fell more in love with the game than I did originally. And yeah, guys, this game has updated like crazy since the start of this year. Like it's really been non-stop changes, both good, both bad. It's hit and miss. There's been a couple like big stuff that kind of brought on a little controversy to the game, based on community feedback and stuff like that. But that's to be expected. Not all the changes everybody was able to like, but like PvP has been like the one thing that's been kind of like stagnant in terms of updates. PvP has always kind of been hit or miss depending. It's very connection based, and obviously that's getting into a pretty good connection type PvP match is infuriating as hell, but you know, you gotta put up with it. It's what it is. The amount of events that they have released since the launch of this game has been insurmountable. There has been so much content that they have been pushing down our throats. It's almost too much for us to kind of handle. It's almost too much for us to handle because there's just so much to do in the game. I can't tell you how many of these like step up like events have kind of been like. There's so many. There's so many like kind of stuff. There's so much stuff just kind of like there. The Let's Fight was a very nice inclusion to increase friendship rating. The equipment collection is a great way to grind out medals. The amount of story content gives you much more accessibility to getting free chrono crystals. Like, there's so much that has really released with this game that just makes it more accessible for existing players. I say that in terms of PvE, this game has not been more accessible for newer players to join. In terms of building up, your in-game currency, being able to do summons and whatnot, and there's just so much content for free-to-play players that it's they can just pick it up and just breeze through it, and it's a fun game to pass the time for new players. Like, it's just go and do it. In terms of existing players, you're going to be pretty hit and miss. And we're going to kind of go into that. But overall, my love for this game hasn't changed. I still play this game daily, if not every other day, and I'm actually really, really excited to see where this game goes going forward. So it'll be really interesting to see. But let me know down in the comments, guys, what your guys' experience is with the game, and what your favorite units you've pulled. Like, just tell me everything about this game. What's your story with Dragon Ball Legends? Let me know down in the comments. But with that said, we're gonna kind of go over at this point, the new update. And just kind of delve into it just a little bit. We're not going to go too crazy because I know a bunch of other people have already kind of like delved into it before me. But I'm just going to kind of go over the update, give you guys my thoughts and opinions on some of the stuff that's been included and what hasn't been included. And yeah, just kind of go from there. So the first most notable thing that kind of came out was the guild system and the co-op mode. It's like they said in the announcement video, the friend system in this game has been very, very lacking. I think in the past 1.5 years, the only thing they ever did with friends on like a cooperative level was the Dragon Ball event back on the 1-year anniversary back in June, something like that. somewhere around that time period. And yeah, like this is what the friend system needed to be relevant again. So it's kind of cool. If you played the new Pokemon Sword and Shield games, if you guys have done max raid battles, this is essentially the Dragon Ball equivalent of that. You got the moves in Pokemon where the raid bosses put up a shield, and you have to damage the shield in order to do substantial damage to the boss. It's got that system in it, and whatnot. And it's a really, really good cooperative feature. I played a couple rounds of it. It's actually pretty seamless. I haven't had any connection issues or anything. The only thing I gotta say, debatably, I feel like the rewards aren't so much there. I feel like it could be a little better, but that could also just be because I'm the only person in my guild at this point in time, and whatnot. At the end of the video, I'll put up my guild for my guild code for you guys if you guys want to join. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good feature. I think it's something that the game really, really needed, and yeah, it's something that the game really needed. Guilds are also a very fantastic implementation. Gives you kind of a sense of community, which is something that I'm always like about on my channel here or on Twitch. So I think it's also a good implementation, a new feature that they put in. The next thing was Zenkai Awakenings. Now, this is probably the most controversial thing that they have done with the game. It's probably the most controversial topic that the community has been kind of talking about. So, basically, they didn't change up the star system in the game too much from what I've noticed. They basically made it so that way the grind didn't seem as grindy in terms of summoning units. However, the controversy is that with this implementation, it almost comes off as quote-unquote whales benefiting from it the most, because the people who spend the mighty dollar in this game are the ones that are going to be able to pull the units and max them out to 14 stars, which is the new thing, and be able to boost up their character stats. In some ways, I understand. In some ways, I get it. In other ways, I feel like it's a little bit of an oversight. Excuse me. I mean, for me, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a whale, but I do spend a decent amount of money on this game. And it's not necessarily guaranteed that a whale is going to be able to pull the unit that they want to pull. And that's where I kind of sit. It's like if you're unable to pull the units, then it's not really all that broken. And to kind of further elaborate, playing PvP and stuff, like, you don't notice a lot of people in PvP at 7 stars. So, I mean, from a competitive standpoint, I can understand where it would be kind of where it can kind of be a little irritating and kind of a backpedal, but at the same time, how often is that going to happen where it's actually going to affect you, the player? You might have the occasional run-in with a whale that's 7-starred Super Vegito and whatnot, but it is what it is. I'm hoping down the road they'll be able to kind of balance this out a little bit better. I hope they do balance it out a little bit better, because if you guys haven't seen, the OG Super Saiyan Goku is broken. He's broken. He is nasty. It's really interesting. It's very, very interesting. So yeah, but these are like the levels that you kind of go through, and it kind of goes into some of the stuff that unlocks with all the Z power and whatnot. They're going to be unleashing like new missions and stuff to be able to get Z power to limit break them. And as an example, like, this is where the controversy kind of lies, right? So before the update, you got just a couple of generic buffs. now, by the time you completely max out a character, what is that? 5, 10, 15, 17, 20, 23, 28, 30, 36%. By the time you get it up to 13 stars, the total stat boost of original Super Saiyan Goku goes up 36%, which is nuts. Given he in terms of character balancing between Beerus and Broly, like, he is one of the units that really needed a balance update. So I gotta say that, you know, it's kind of justified, and a lot of people in the community have been asking for it, but, you know, that's neither this or that. It like, he needed a balance update, and he got him, and now he's he's broken. He's broken. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But yeah, so, but there's a lot of other cool adjustments they've done. They've increased the amount of experience that you get in story battles. The friends list increased just a little bit. Memory usage in battle, like, makes PvP connections a little better. Same with you know, the lag in PvP. They changed up a lot of the adjustments and stuff. In terms of how the combat actually works. But yeah, they actually did a lot with this game. They've done a lot. And honestly, so far, I'm happy with it. I'm going to need some more time to kind of, like, go over some of the updates and whatnot. But what I will say is, this game, like, if the past 1.5 years has shown us anything, is that this game has the capacity to update and change in a lot of ways. So 1.5 years from now, on the 3-year anniversary of this game, it's going to be very interesting to see how much it changes from this point in time. And we'll be here to cover it. We're gonna sit here and cover it. But yeah, guys, that's about it. That's about it. So, with that said, thank you guys for coming to the video today. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below your story on Dragon Ball Legends, your history with it. Let me know what it is that you know, that you love about the game, what you hate about the game, changes you like, changes you hated. Let me know your entire story with the game. Before I head off here, let me leave you with this real quick, so that you guys too can come and join the Armory Collective and do co-op battles with us. Again, like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment down below your history. Follow me over on twitch.tv/corrosivebullet, or over on Twitter as well. Links down in the description. And yeah, with that said, guys, thank you for the love and support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.